Good morning. It's a cloudy, rainy morning here in Iowa, and I have my sleeping baby and my not sleeping baby off to the side here, just over off camera. And I have my phone here so that you can hear me a little more clearly and so I can see your comments. I want to just say welcome. My name is Kathy, and this is Yoga and Quilts. And I'm so glad that you're here. We're going to start off with a little movement today, and then we're going to go over to my sewing machine and sew some very basic patchwork, very beginner friendly. So we're going to begin standing, feet about shoulder width apart, and just move your feet underneath your body. Make sure you feel all of the parts of your feet touching the earth. Maybe you get a little bit of a sway going. Maybe you stand on tiptoes and then on the balls of your feet and then on your heels. Maybe you wiggle your toes. Once you've settled into a comfortable position where you can feel all of your feet on the ground, inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. Take another deep inhale. With every inhale, find yourself lengthening your spine and stretching the crown of your head toward the ceiling. With every exhale, feel your shoulders dropping just a little bit further away from your ears. Again, inhale. We're thinking clearly, forgetting anything that might have come just before now, just being here in the present moment. Exhaling. Maybe even your knees bend when you exhale. Just a total body slump into the earth. Good. Bring arms up over the head like so. And down into prayer in front of the chest. Good. Cueing the breath here. Inhale, the arms come up wide. Stretching. Really complete that inhale all you can. Fill your whole belly and ribs. Exhaling, bringing it down to the chest and dropping those shoulders. Good. Just thinking about the weekend coming up, maybe thinking about nothing at all. Whatever thoughts are going through your mind, I'm sure they're beautiful and they have a time and place. Is it here? Is it not here? Just noticing, no judgment. Okay, so we nailed the mountain pose. Let's go into a tree pose here. Let's find some balance. So, with those feet about shoulder width apart, still find your weight going into your right foot, lifting your left foot or thinking about it. Let that underneath part of your foot meet your ankle. Start thinking about focusing on something in front of you that's not moving. Maybe it's a notch on the ceiling, just a little something in front of you just to focus on something steady. Continuing to be one with the breath. Start thinking about moving that foot up from the ankle to the calf. And if you don't have your balance, that's okay. Just touch those toes back to the ground and then try again. All right. Can you go from your calf up to your knee with your foot? My balance is a little off since I have sleeping baby here on my chest, but I will give you the space to practice with me. Good. So we are just doing our tree here. Can you add any branches to your tree? Can you swing those arms back up? Still focusing on the one steady part in front of you. And maybe you wave the branches of your tree that are up, up, up. Okay, if you brought branches and your arms up, bring them on down, shake out your feet, And we'll repeat the same thing on the other side. Find your weight going into your left foot. And then your right foot, the base of it starts to meet your ankle. Think about taking those toes off the ground. If they don't come off the ground, that's fine. Mine might not meet very much of the sky today. Let that foot travel up that calf, maybe towards that knee. Maybe if you are practiced and you're up for it, if you're new and you're up for it, can the ball of the foot make it all the way up to that thigh? Inhaling and exhaling. Remember, in through the nose, out through the mouth. With both arms, try to add those branches back, sweeping them up. And when you're ready, bring those arms down and then resettle your feet onto the ground. Welcome, Melanie, Donnell. So good to see you. We're doing yoga with baby today. And then we have the toddler just off screen here. The two cats are wandering around. I have two black cats. All right. So we've done a couple standing poses. Let's do one sun salutation or two. I usually don't do just one. So I'm going to turn to my side so that you can see it. Sweeping the arms up. And then prayer and come to heart. Dropping them all the way down, finding a forward fold. Your hands go all the way to the ground or thinking about it. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands come to your knees. Exhale. Really let all of the air leave your chest and belly. You went all the way down on the exhale. Lift up and find those. Oh, someone just dropped a duck. Find those arms going up, up, up again. And then exhale, they come to your chest in prayer. Let me set this little duck down. All right, let me resituate here. Cameron, are you playing with the quilt ladder? Might hear a little bit of a bang here in a second. He wants to tip it over. Okay, good. He's gonna go downstairs a little bit. All right, so we did one little sun salutation. Let's do it again. So nice, we have to do it twice. Inhale, bring arms up. Exhale, bring them to the chest in prayer and then bend all the way down for forward fold. Good. Inhale, halfway lift, hands to knees. Exhale all the way down. All that air leaves the body. Inhale all the way up. And exhale down. Hope we're feeling really good today. Got a couple of deep breaths in. This is a really good flow for preparing you to be at your machine for a little bit. I plan to move on over here in a second and just want to say I am so glad you're here. Oh, Melanie, you're using a support to keep you steady. You say walker, I say prop. That's a yoga prop. Okay. That's really good. I'm trying to think what else might work well for you today. Darnell, Melanie, anybody on the live? Let me know, is anything kind of ailing you today? Anything where you have some pressure, some tension building up? We can definitely touch on that before I head on over to the sewing machine. All right. I hope you feel as connected to the breath as I do today. Just remembering to consciously breathe, to think about all of the things that are yet to come to you and all the things that have come to you. Oh, thank you for sharing that with us, Melanie. Scoliosis. I had somebody in my new mom's group who I think she's in her 30s and she had scoliosis and she was very much looking for some relief. So um, I am a relatively new yoga teacher. So, but I just had recovered from having two C-sections in 2 years because I had babies back to back. And I really curated a flow when I was recovering postpartum that treats the back. So I'm trying to think. I'm gonna use this chair as if it was a walker or a support of some kind. So I imagine both arms are here. Okay. What I would like for you to do is find a nice twist. So with arms supporting yourself, bring your right foot back. Make sure you can see that on camera. Yep. Right foot back, your weight is on your left foot. Put your toes on the ground. Really feel the stretch in the front of your foot. This is a great one for if your foot is going to be on the pedal very much. I've also seen a knee lift to help operate a sewing machine, so that's really cool. But my foot's about to be on the sewing machine pedal, so that'll be a good stretch through there. Also, put your right foot flat on the ground now. And with your left hand on your support, on your prop, on your walker, bring your right hand up. Find a stretch in that arm while also finding a little bend in the back. And perhaps just find that heel on your right foot, trying to connect with the earth even more. Moving your fingertips that are up in the air. Good. Bring your both arms back onto your support with that right foot still back. Bring the toes up and allow them to travel behind your left foot. And then your gaze goes over your left shoulder to perhaps try as if they were looking at that foot that's behind you. Really find some length in your right side, in your right ribs. Bring those toes, just raising them over the surface of the floor. Bring those toes back to under your right shoulder. If that felt good, let's try the left side. So weight in the right foot with both hands on your support, on your prop, Melanie. Bring your left foot back. Okay. This is the one where we did the toes down first. Got some toes going down. Feeling the stretch in the top of the foot. Good. Now the foot goes flat. Feeling the heel really connecting with the earth. When you're ready, bring your right arm, well, whatever arm we didn't do before. I'm holding a baby. Whatever the other arm than we did before. Bring that up. Inhale, exhale. Connect that heel with the ground. Your right knee can still be on your support while the other hand is up. Finding a little bend in the back. Good. Bring both arms down to your support, your prop. Graze those toes on your left foot along the back to where they are thinking about being behind your right foot. Good. Now the gaze goes over your right shoulder. Find a lot of length through those left ribs. Return to neutral. Okay, feet are shoulder width apart. Those are a few wonderful standing poses. I'm glad we did standing poses today. Let's make our way on over to our machine, shall we? Okay. Just want to make sure I have a good camera angle for everybody. I'm sitting you on my ironing board. I do have a tripod around here, but because we are moving, it's, hello, it's somewhere. Okay, I'm gonna set you up a little higher. Okay. Just preparing my surface. Preparing my surface one-handed. It'll be good that the baby will be well rested though. When the baby's well rested, the rest of the day just goes fine. Okay. Let's go ahead and take that. I will take that angle for sure. Ah. I had to make sure my machine was under me. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Here at my comfy sewing machine. Oh, good. I'm glad that was great for you. Thank you, Awkward Filter GA. Thanks for sharing me. Hello, Kelly. Nerve damage on my left leg from a spinal injury in 2021. Know any good stretches to help with that ongoing pain? So we're talking about a left leg. Can you tell me, Donnell, what part of your left leg? Stiffness in upper arm. Okay. Stiffness in upper arm. Is it the upper arm that connects to the shoulder? All right. Get my foot pedal here. What I'm working on is there was one day I just hammered out like 8 of these hearts. The red floral is from a collection that came out from Riley Blake in November called Love You Always by Sandy Gervais, if I'm saying that right. The background is Ruby Star Society speckled, and I just think they look so precious together. It's it's a little bit bigger print than you usually see in a quilting cotton. I thought it was wonderful for this pattern. So this is the heart that comes from the pattern from Patchwork Revival called Home Heart. And I just felt like hammering out some hearts that day. So we have 8 of those. Yeah, you like those hearts, Colin? This is, I just went through and from the same collection, a beautiful like robin's egg blue with some roses, and I cut the same size as my heart. It ended up being an 8 1/4 inch block. So I cut 8 1/4 inch of these, the same amount as I had hearts, and an 8 1/4 inch of the pink. So it's a beautiful trellis with the roses in there. All right. Oh, is there a duck on my sewing machine? The duck says quack, 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 quack. He's red, just like the red heart. Okay. So I was inspired when I watched Sean's live on Saturday. His sister Shelly was working on a pattern that was very basic patchwork. So it had plain square, plain square, plain square, in different colors. And then it had a heart block. So I was thinking of making some rows just like that. So I think we'll do some rows here together today. All right. So I need an accurate 1/4 inch seam. I don't want a 3-inch stitch length. I want 2 or 2.5. Okay. No, Colin. Here, do you want to play? I have a leather Clover brand thimble, and he loves to chew on this. So that's what I can do to kind of thwart him from playing around the needle. So I need to go to the quilt shop and get a magnetic seam guide. I did have just a magnet around somewhere, but I will move my needle to where the edge of the presser foot is my 1/4 inch. So I believe that is right around 2.5 or 2.8. So I'm gonna get a test one of my scrap pieces from cutting, and I'm just gonna test if that's an accurate 1/4 inch. So I'm on my Foth Quilt Ambition 635. I had to rethread my machine anyways. Whoa. It did not like that. The boys have been kind of messing with the machine because it's just out here in the open with everything. So sometimes you get the boys messing with the machine. Hello. Oh, you want the thimble to go in the machine? They love to like plop stuff in the top of the machine for some reason. Okay. So it looked like it wanted to jam a couple places. Press her foot down. So, weird. It's almost like I threaded the needle with the bobbin thread, which I did not. Okay. My threader hasn't really been working ever since I changed my needle, but let's give it a try. No, it hasn't wanted. It's almost due for service because I got it in September of last year. So it is pretty much coming due on its 1-year service. Yeah. Oh, you're going to touch some buttons? Can you say button? Oh, you're saying up, 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 up. So when the machine really gets going, the kids get super interested in the needle moving up and down. Oh, that's just my tray that came out, my extension. Okay. Um, so it makes me super nervous to have the kids while the needle is actually sewing. So we'll see if he wants to get on down. I don't know. Yeah. Maybe he'll get tired just checking it out, and then he'll move on to something else. Okay. Out you come, out of the wrap. Out of the wrap you come. Okay. What do you want to see now? What do you want to see? I had put the needle all the way down in the machine. Let's take a look at the chat. Beautiful heart. Thank you, Melanie. Oh, an injection. Oh, okay. And so Kelly was our arm. Let me see. Yeah, Kelly's our arm. Usually injections go in your upper bicep. So sorry, my leftmost screen is black. I played with layout a lot before coming on, and it just wasn't working with me. But so okay, stiffness. I'll think about that a little more. Let's do some sewing and then I'll think about it. That's too bad from an injection. All right. Do you have your little thimble? Leather thimble? Get some of my hair on. I don't want your fingers there once I start sewing. Yeah, hearts are one of my favorite shapes, if not my favorite shape or like symbol, because I was born, let's see, about a week after Valentine's Day. Um, it's always just been a special time for me. I've always loved like my birthday. And because it's so close to Valentine's Day, I associate it with hearts and things like that. Um, yeah, I really like the scale of the prints from the Sandy Gervais collection, and and how they fit in this heart. So with Borda, it's an 8 1/4 inch block. Should be 8 1/2, but I got a little trim happy. But we'll see if he's done playing with the machine. Luckily, this machine is pretty childproof because um, once the presser foot is down, uh, and the needle's down. Actually, the presser foot is up right now and the needle is down. Like he can push any button and it won't do anything because the presser foot isn't down. So he's pushing the go button and the backstitch button and it's just beeping at him and say lower presser foot. He's pushing the cut button. So it's it's one of my goals to have my boys be really into sewing and quilting, whether they sew garments or quilt, whatever it is. Uh, I want them just now to kind of get the exposure to everything. And that will be that'll be in the form of like right now he's just going up and down with the presser foot. So it's just a lot of patience and letting him really feel like this is a toy kind of and it's just out all the time and it's okay it's okay. And I mean, we have an open floor plan in our new house here. So I can be in the kitchen right there and then be watching him. Yeah, he's opening the lid. He's a super gentle kid, so nothing is like going to break, I don't think. It's just he's monitored. Up and down. Thank you, Melanie. It is special being here Valentine's Day. And school is in session and you can have a party in class and then you can also have your birthday party. I hear from folks who have summer birthdays that it's really tough because your school is not in session and I don't know, it's different. But I'm like, try having a winter birthday. You can't have a pool party or anything. You can't be out at a park with your party in a shelter or nothing like that. Do you think you're gonna let mama sew? What do you think? Can you let me know what you're working on in the comments, if anything? Or are you at work? Colin, do you think we should sew a little bit? Can you sit back down with your thimble and your duck? Sit back down and then we'll sew. Here you come. Good, you got your duck. Your duck is gonna go in the sewing machine. He doesn't really fit in there, does he? He doesn't fit very well. You can try to, no, he won't even fit on the thread holder. No, he won't fit on there. Maybe he fits in your hand. Maybe he fits in your hand. Yeah. It's hard because like pulling them away from the machine, I'll bring the mic over here. Um, it puts like a negativity in their mind. So I don't try to like manhandle them away from the machine or say no very much when they're around the machine. But yeah, sewing with kids is its own special test on patience. I also have good news from the yoga side of my life. There's a new wellness center opening in downtown of my hometown here. That's about 30 minutes away, and the owner. I had told you a couple weeks ago on a live that I had coffee with her to kind of understand the new space and what her goals are for the space and how I could help. And that's turned into an offer to have a weekly yoga class that's a restorative style in her space. So we're working through some of the details of the contract right now, and it sounds like it's gonna look pretty good. So Sundays at 2 are when we're thinking my weekly class will happen. Oh, you see yogurt. Oh, okay. You see yogurt. Here you go. Bye. So looking very forward to that. Many people had their first sewing experience being in the same space with an adult and investigating more teaching moments. Yeah. Oh, what are you reaching for? You reaching for the yogurt? Is this what you're reaching for? Okay, I'll pull out my little keyboard tray. When I was working full time, I used to have my computer right here, and then I installed a tray on the bottom of it to slide out for my keyboard. But I worked IT, and those jobs got eliminated. Either they took them overseas, or the software as a service provider, sold the leadership on, oh, well, you don't need employees if you use our software as a service because it goes on its own. um, so yeah, either technology kind of took over where the people were, or it went over to a country where the labor is just a little cheaper, but the people are pretty well educated. So that gave me the chance to really take a leap of faith that I wouldn't have taken otherwise and be a full-time mom. Yeah, you got the spoon. Do you think you're gonna let mama sew now? Thank you, Melanie, for the congratulations on the yoga teacher gig. So, okay, let's try to get our first square. When I saw Shelly's, I'm just remembering loose off of my memory, but Shelly, she had about like 5 squares, and then she had her heart square on the rightmost part of the row. So that means I'm gonna take the pink square. And I love that these were on the bias already, and I didn't have to waste fabric trying to get it on the bias. Okay, gonna match these guys up. For this kind of thing, I'm not usually a pinner. Oh, I was going to double check that my 1/4 inch seam was accurate. Okay, so I don't think I have fixed. Oh, maybe I have. Looks like my top needle's threaded. So I'm just gonna line my test strip up with the rightmost side of the presser foot. And then I'm gonna compare it with the ruler on my extension tray. Looks like my tension is a little bit, oh, okay. My tension was stiff because the lid was flipped down. So that could make for some tension. I could tell that the tension wasn't right because, trim that here. It was seeming a little bit ripply when it was coming off from underneath the presser foot. Just the way the fabric was moving. I wanted to look at tension. Good. Okay, so I can still measure my 1/4 inch here. Fold it in half. Yeah, ever since we moved into the new house, the baby has been pretty clingy. Oh, okay, so it's just shy of a 1/4 inch. That's a scant 1/4 inch, but for this, I want to have a true 1/4 inch. So, okay, so 3 over, I want to move it a little bit more to the left, so I'm going to put it on 2.8. My stitch length went down to 2.0. Maybe Colin messing with the machine. Okay. Do one more test strip on here and just double check it's a true 1/4 inch. Hi, Cameron. Cameron's back from watching his cartoons on the iPad. How's it going, love? Their dad has been working out of town all this week and the last couple of weeks. So we'll be really glad to have him back home. I think he's probably only about 45 minutes away now. Hello. Oh, is Colin eating your yogurt? Is he eating your yogurt? Oh, and there's yogurt all over his belly. I'm thinking about doing a short or a video of some kind about kids in the sewing room and kind of what to have around so they keep interested in the right kind of things. So let me know if that would be of interest to you. Like maybe you have grandkids that come in the sewing room, or nieces or nephews or kiddos of your own. Okay, so that's an accurate 1/4 inch. Double check that my fabric is lined up accurately because I really took the time during cutting to make sure my cuts were accurate. Okay. Oh, let me look at my comments here. Okay, no new comments, so we will continue with the sewing a straight line. We don't really have any weekend plans here. Farmer's market is probably like our go-to if we really don't have any plans, but we still want to get out of the house. But we moved to the outskirts of town because it had a really good reputation for really good schools. And the house prices were wonderful for how newish of construction they were. So just those couple of things together was a really winning recipe. You slide that in and out, in and out. But it's hard, like sewing with the kiddos around, like one usually needs to be in my lap because they need to see what mommy is doing. They're in a real like observe and copy kind of phase, which is wonderful because that's the building blocks for language development and all sorts of great skills. But with that, like they want to do what I'm doing. And so with having to hold Colin back from wanting to like lunge at the needle, it is a lot on your back. So why don't we take another look at Kelly for the arm. You can go back over to the other space and I can take a look at something for the left arm. Oh, Kelly is talking about her first quilt. Oh my gosh, you got to sew it on a Bernina? 8 squares from Gaudy Fabric. There was Dennis the Menace fabric. That's neat. I'm glad you still have your first quilt because I've heard some sad stories about people getting rid of them because they didn't like them. But then you look back years ago and you want to see the progress. My first quilt is just behind me. Hi, Colin. Hi. So I always like to make things harder than they are. And I decided for my first quilt, it was for Cameron when I was pregnant with him, that I would piece animals and do an Elizabeth Hartman. So it is the baby quilt from, I'll probably stand up here. Do you want to go down or do you want mom to hold you? Oh, that's not a happy thing. Okay, here you come. Here you come, Mr. Spoon. So my first quote, his nursery colors were like a stone blue gray. So there's the swans. And I did cut off some points because once you sew enough seams, the 1/4 inch starts to become a little bit more elusive. Sean really likes this block because It reminds him of the swans in Australia, which are black, interestingly enough. Oh, and there's already some mending that needs to be done. There's already a rip in it. But yeah, I cut off the feathers in one spot, but only, only the artist's eye can see these things. But I've since done another Elizabeth Hartman or two in this one, and it's turned out a lot better. Yeah, the two swans do sort of make a heart, and I think if I make it again, I want to add in a heart, either from applique or a pieced heart. Okay, let's get your duck and go back over to the yoga space, huh? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna come around and grab you. So on the patchwork, keep an eye on my Instagram because I will post updates there. I'll swing you around here to where I completed the piece that we were working on a week or two ago. That is the block that I made as a wall hanging from the same pattern I got these red hearts from, Patchwork Revival's Home Heart. And it's all bound now and ready to hang on the wall. And it's to commemorate us moving to our forever home. All right. Sit you down where you were, and we'll take a look at some things for the arms. Thank you, Kelly, for that request. All right. So we're thinking left arm stiffness. Okay. Thinking. And full disclaimer, I am not a yoga therapist. There's people who have enough experience to qualify to be labeled yoga therapists, and they're almost like physical therapists, but with a very different forte and skill set. So I'm a beginner yoga teacher. I got my certifications in 2024 for both prenatal and general yoga. And so I just do what comes to mind. And then if it works for you, it does. And if it doesn't, maybe we can try something else. I just don't want to injure you. I'm trying not to injure anybody. So, okay. So it came to my mind. What we're going to do in honor of Kelly is wall clock. And one of my fellow yoga teacher trainees really loved this move. I still have the baby wearer on. Okay, so find a wall. My yoga teacher trainer said the wall is actually one of the best props there is. You don't need blocks and expensive mat. If you have a wall, you can get some really good stretches. So we're gonna do both arms, but start out with your arm. And remember, I'm holding my phone here. Just, um, well, I misplaced it for a couple days because I was unpacking boxes and forgot where I put it. But now it's back. And so now it's like permanently attached to my hand. I'm just kind of moving my arm along the wall, letting my nails kind of graze the wall, getting that range of motion. And when you're ready, sweep the back of your hand up in front of you slowly and until it reaches the very top of the wall. Okay, put your hip against the wall and see if you can lengthen it all. Turn your palm against the wall and now bring it back behind you. Okay, stop with it directly behind you. If that hip comes off the wall any, that's totally fine. Everybody has different range of motion. Breathing here. Breathing to fill the ribs, belly, the chest. Making sure to keep a strong frame. Okay, turn that hand to where the back of your hand is against the wall again. Slowly bring it down. Okay, again, bringing the hand up, up, up that wall in a circle. Pause at the top. Ooh, take some breaths. Palm of your hand against the wall and bring it on down directly behind you. Your hip is directly perpendicular to the wall. It doesn't kind of turn with your arm or anything, but it can kind of come away and flex as you need it to. Okay, and then sweep that arm down. A few more motions with that, a little faster. Try to match it with the breath. Inhale as you come up the wall. And exhale as you go down the wall. And it can match however short or long of breaths you want to take. One more, and then we're going to do the other, the reverse the circles before we switch to the other arm. Oh my gosh, we've only been on for 45 minutes. This is a little bit longer one, but the kids are being so good. Okay. Did you reverse your circles? Okay. Remembering to stop at the part of the wall clock that feels the best for you. We're getting that full rotation. When I'm at 10, going behind me is when I feel the pain more and I need to adjust it to move. That's great that you're adjusting, because definitely I don't want you to be in pain. The pain can be an indicator that we are targeting the area. And like when you do physical therapy, you know, it can be kind of painful because you're targeting the area that you're working on. And so just leaning away sometimes is the right answer. Who's feeling like we're ready to switch to the other arm? The other shoulder goes against the wall now. I have the thermostat here, so I'll just be mindful of that. Remembering to warm up that arm just by grazing those fingernails along the wall. Okay, start making your circle just a little bit bigger. Let's start with bringing the fingers up in front of the body here. I'm going to try to position my hip against the wall, but it's okay if it comes off of the wall at any point in the circle to ease off of some of the stretch. Okay, pausing at 12 o'clock. Okay, turning that palm of the hand against the wall now and allowing it to drift behind you. Hip coming off the wall as you need it or staying on the wall to increase the sensation. Your chest can turn towards the wall to get more of a stretch through that bicep. When you're ready, exhale and bring it all the way back down. Again, slow, just noticing where the stretch feels good, not so good. Where are you getting the most breath in your lungs? No judgment, just noticing. Sweeping it down when you're ready for a nice long exhale. Two more, a little bit quicker, targeting those areas that you notice feel the best for you. Nothing that feels painful or like it's overstretching. Don't need to overstretch at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock on a Friday. That's for sure. Reversing our circles. It's coming behind us now. And I believe the 10 o'clock is what Kelly was saying was right here was the stiffness. And thank you for being so open and honest with what you're feeling. Um, it's okay if you want to keep that to yourself, but if you share, it helps me to be so much more effective. Okay. You notice how it feels any different at all when your circles are reversed compared to before? The design of the arms and legs is just so interesting. We studied a little physiology and anatomy in my teacher training. Um, and of course, because I was pregnant during the teacher training, I really am fascinated by the pelvis, um, and the hips and how those fit together in a neat little bowl. And the back is something that I've definitely targeted in my journey postpartum after two C-sections and two very big babies that were breech. So, did you remember to match the breath with that arm? So we were inhaling on the up sweep, maybe a little pause at the top, and then exhaling, feeling free to stop wherever it might feel good, or you want to press against the wall a little more to get a stretch in the chest or the back, and then down. And that's wall clock. Okay, let's see the chat here. Hi, Sean. Thank you for joining. Okay. Pretty flexible and can move, stretch my arms and legs all the time. That's good, Kelly. Movement is good. When I'm at 10, going behind me is when I feel the pain and adjust to move. Yes, that's wonderful. Um, Knowing to adjust is number one. There's so many people who go to a yoga class and don't make adjustments for what they need because they feel like they have to do what the teacher is saying. And then they don't come back to a yoga class. That's Mama's camera. Oh, there was a duck next to it. Okay, that's what he wanted. So the most important thing is that you come back. Um, okay, somebody mentioned a chiropractor. I'm so glad that you go to a chiropractor. I did go to a chiropractor for a little bit when I was experiencing some back pain from my desk job and then also through my pregnancies. So it's wonderful. She says my left hip is completely out of alignment. I'm sure that's from having a couple of breech babies and about 9-pound babies. So yeah, my mom's hip was really bad too. And as I'm sitting here talking to you, I'll pan down to show you my legs. I'm actually sitting kind of zigzag leg because that's just like the best stretch. So comfy. All right. Chiropractors are really wonderful at their craft. I live here at the home of Palmer Chiropractic, and there's people that come from all over the country to study chiropractic there. Could it be tied to my neck pain? I do know that my neck pain is from all day at the computer and using my phone a lot. Probably a really good question for your chiropractor. Physiology and anatomy is a small part of a yoga teacher's training, but we also go through a lot of philosophy in our training and general movement for more restorative and not. My training is because it was basic, the original training that every yoga teacher training takes. We didn't do very much, so I don't know how the arms are connected to the neck and everything. But what I do, it feels like it would be good in most bodies, in my mind, if I do something. So yeah, maybe something about wall clock really uh, inspired that question for you because like the joint was here and it was going like this. So perhaps you notice something, and that's yoga's really good for just kind of getting you to notice without judgment or anything. Hi, diapers. Thank you. Oh, let's sign it. Thank you. Do you want a diaper change? Diaper change? Yes, no. Hi. 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 You're waving. He's so good at waving lately. Are you gonna take them? Put them back where you found them. Boop boop. Thank you. Thank you. Diapers. Um, so yeah, great question for you, Cairo, on if arm pain is tied to neck pain. And I'm sorry that you have neck pain from sitting at a computer all day. Um, I have neck pain too. I'm a full-time mom, and mine stems from a little bit of grief from losing my mom in December. So I noticed when I was going through that loss that I kept a lot of tension right at the base of my neck where it goes down, you know, the spine goes from the back to the neck. And then also in my arms. So for me, neck and arms were connected when I was carrying tension from the grief. So let me know what you find out about that. You can do the right side without tenderness. Okay. Well, you know, the pain was in your left side. So I'm glad the right side is a little better. And I hope the desk job or being at a computer all day uh, isn't too bad on your neck. But hopefully we can work on some check. I did some neck stuff a couple weeks ago. So check out that live, the playback of it, because we went through neck rolls and all that fun stuff. That was my one where I talked about what to do to get ready for slow stitching because I was getting ready to hand stitch on the back of my binding. So we did neck rolls and all that good stuff. Okay, checking the chat here. Gravity helps movement, so the direction definitely makes a difference. Yeah, you're making all the right connections, Kelly. I love that you're noticing and and being okay with there being differences between direction and between arms and um yeah, I hope you got a really good stretch. Oh, my co-host, yeah, my 18-month-old. Yeah, his curls are curling today because it was rainy. Oh, Kelly asked Sean if he's volunteering to be my co-host. I'm mostly go solo because I feel bad making my guests try to do yoga. I don't want them to feel awkward on camera trying to do yoga. Kelly's retiring in 5 months from that computer job. Oh, but yeah, I'm thinking about your neck for the next 5 months. Oh. Okay, more comments, more comments. I would co-host with Kathy after work on Fridays. Yes, I'll be joining Sean soon. Check out The Guy Who Sews. With only, I think it's next Saturday, so not this one. He has a really good guest on this Saturday, and then I'll be watching and I'll be in the chat. But I think we are on deck for the next one. On vacation at the time, I will go back and watch that. Oh, thank you, Kelly. And that one's a really good one to do from your desk, the one from a couple weeks ago, because Martha joined us and she was at her desk job and I kind of customized it for where she was. Does feel better doing the clock stretch. Oh yes, we brought you some relief. And Donnell said hi to Sean. Been lurking. My job tries to kill us on Friday. We had a very clear rule when I was working my full-time job outside of the home in IT. The rule was nothing new after 2 on Fridays. So if a ticket came in, you know, if it wasn't high priority, like and it was new, the people would treat it a lot differently than a ticket that comes in on like a Monday morning. So yeah. Um, It was really fun working with the patchwork, and I'm going to update my Instagram as I create some rows with that. Sean, I don't know if you were here when I was sewing, but Shelly's patchwork piece really inspired me. And I had the Riley Blake fabric because I got in their makers club somehow. Like I don't have all the followers and everything, but I got in their makers club and they sent me some half yards of a collection that came out last November. And I've been looking for something. So Shelly's project really interested me. And I already know the quilting I'm going to do on it and everything. So it's super beginner friendly. And I loved watching Shelly last Saturday. I see a lot of myself in her. Which I could definitely identify with her. Nothing new after 2 doesn't work in shipping. Yeah. Hi. Did you say hi to the cat? You said I have a cat kind of scratching at my knees down here. I tried to make sure everybody was fed and watered before I started, but apparently he either really wants to play or he he still needs a little bit of treats or food or drink. So thank you, Kathy. I didn't mean to hijack the chat. Oh, no, that's like my ideal. This is why I created the channel because I wanted lives are so good for this. I want to bring relief to people, whether like the arm is sewing aggravates your arm more, and maybe because the wall clock movement helped, maybe now you just go and sew or just live your life like a little bit more comfortably. That is my whole goal behind the channel. So please do come and tell me in the comments because if we're live with each other, I'm relatively isolated because I'm in the home full time. So it's my chance to come and be part of a community and connect with people. And oh my gosh, if you have a yoga studio around you, I really urge you to go try a yoga class, especially if it says like gentle or restorative in the name of the class, because when you get people together in person, they co-regulate off of each other for their nervous system. So over the course of a 45-minute or hour-long yoga class, by the end of it, it's amazing the connection you feel with the people and the space, if it's the right kind of space. You might have to try a couple spaces to find the one for you. You're welcome for the help, Kelly. Gotta go. Thank you for the stretching exercises. All can be incorporated during my workday. Good. I used to do yoga daily and life got busy. So you are helping me get back into it. Good. I wish I could do yoga weekly in a class. And so teaching one will really help me have that like accountability and the new space that the space owner is creating. I think is going to be just so gorgeous. And an at-home practice is a good rescue in times when uh, you can't really make it out either from motivation or just life is busy. And you deserve it. You deserve to use your own power, your own movements to bring restoration to how you feel moving in this thing that's called a body that is our vessel to get around throughout the day and the evening. Um, if we're not finding just a couple ways to be a little bit more comfortable so that we can travel and do our hobbies or even fix dinner or whatever in these bodies, that is that's the most, I think, deserved, and it should be tried the way that you should we should be trying to spend even a little bit of time. So that is really my battle cry for a good at home practice. Yeah. When I was on vacation in Florida a few years back, I did a variety of different yoga classes and would love to find another studio like that. Oh, that's neat that you found a yoga studio while you were on vacation. We used to vacation in Madeira Beach, Florida by St. Pete. So we'd fly into Tampa and then go to St. Pete Beach. It had like three different names. I don't know. Um, those were really good memories. And then we started vacationing in California where my brother lived later on. And I loved Santa Barbara. I was a big wino. I stopped drinking wine when I was pregnant. I just haven't gone back because it's such an expensive like little hobby if you get the good stuff. And but when I was in Santa Barbara, I used to make itineraries for going to different wineries and things, and that is like my ideal day on a vacation. Let's see. I do have an online yoga subscription that I need to do again. Yeah. That could be a little bit of the ultimate goal with my channel is to host online yoga sessions like you would get at a yoga studio, and have like a little bit of a membership through there. I'd also really like to be invited to teach yoga at like sewing retreats, quilting retreats. So I have a really good quilt shop here in town, and she said she would love to bring a yoga teacher in. And I think getting a little bit of experience with everybody online here is going to really prime me for being able to take students that are in like a sewist and a quilter's body and has the range of movement of them, and then the lack of range of movement from some of the things that sewing kind of does to our bodies. And then I can teach them restorative movement. Um, so we'll try that in person, and we'll see. Maybe I'll get invited to like a ritzy quilt retreat in Santa Barbara. But that's my ultimate like ritzy vacation spot with Santa Barbara. I love it. I also need to get out to the East Coast to see Sean and all of my East Coasters out there at some point. But travel with the 3 year old and 1 year old is like, it's not in the foreseeable future. Okay, well, I need to go get started on some lunch, and I hear a kiddo crying. So I'm going to say bye for now. And it's been so good hanging out with you. Talk to you again soon.